All right, so disclaimer, I'm not a professional artist and I can't afford to hire one for this project that I'm working on. So if you're like me and you need to get some kind of, like for instance, I need a cartoon house done, I had to do it myself, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. First, you obviously sketch out your house and make your outline. And then right now what I'm doing is I'm matching all the colors, all the base colors, like just flat colors, right? I'm not worried about shading or highlighting or anything right away. Just want to get in here and get all the colors matched first. And I think a professional artist might be able to do all this way faster. Like they all know the shortcuts and hotkeys and everything to to color this a lot faster. But again, I am a storyteller. I'm not an artist, so I'm not a color designer either, as you can tell. So house designer. Right here, I'm picking all the flat colors. Flat, like whatever color I want the object to be, I just pick the flat color, and then I go back over it, and now I'm doing highlights. So I pick the same color, different shade, lighter shade, to kind of bring out some of the reflection that you would get in real life. And then I go back over it all with the darken tool and kind of darken some of the corners. And I don't want to say it makes it look real, but I think it does give it a little bit of depth. So I'll darken a little bit of the corners. And if you spend a little bit more time doing this, it'll look better. The more variety, contrast that you have in the colors, I've noticed that a lot of artists make it look a lot better with contrast. All right, so here I go. I think right now I'm working on getting some shading done. So I got my base colors, highlight colors, and then I darken some of them. A professional artist probably has a different workflow. Like maybe they do all the lines first and then do all, one thing at a time. Base colors for everything and then shading for everything. But again, like I said, I'm just trying to help you with some tips to show you how I was able to get, some of the things done on this project that I'm working on without, the funding that I would like to have to hire a professional artist. So here I go over it, erasing all the overlap for some of the color of the acorn. This is an acorn house, so I'm trying to make it look as real as realistic as I can, but still with a cartoon style. And then here I go, just take black and make a shape from where I want the light to be, and I take the opacity down and then leave it as is. And I'll do the same for everything that's supposed to overlap. Like on the acorn, you have on the where the stem is, you have these little kind of like flaps, that cover the acorn, protect it, I guess you could say, like the head of the acorn. I don't know what it's called, but I'm shaping it right now with the black, and then right now I'm giving it a shape. I'm not having to make it perfect first because I want to get it done to save time. So I'll go in there and I'll zoom in and then start fixing it right now. Right, I'll get the shape done first, and then kind of go in there with the curve tool, the pen tool, make to where it curve, and then just start picking points and lining it up where I want it. Take the opacity down so I can see the lines better, and as I'm going along, I can see what my shading is going to look like, what the shadow is going to look like. I don't remember what my opacity is. That was like a 35 or 40. Of course, that's whatever you want it to be, whatever kind of shading you want it to be. So I got a little bit of depth here. I'm going to do this with everything. So some of the window seals will probably be sticking out from the house. If you built a house, I don't know, you could have them inset. But just for the sake of this project, I'm going to have them stick out so that I can have a little bit of shadow to give it some depth, give it some contrast, to make it look like almost, it's not 3D, but I want to give it some depth. And a professional artist might know another trick to do this a lot faster and a lot better. But again, I'm just showing you how I was able to get it done without the funding that I would like to have. And again, all I'm doing here, lining up where I want my shadow to be, with the black. You can use any color you want for the shading, but I'm using black to simplify it. And then as I get it set, I'll just take the opacity down to where I want it. And the opacity will change throughout the entire process. For instance, if it's a light shadow where there's not a whole lot of shadow and it's not a lot of contrast, I'll probably do 5, 10, 15 on the opacity scale. 5, 10 to 15%, something like that, because the shading is not thick, which means there's not a lot of distance between them. And then for something that's far away from the light, doesn't have a lot of light hitting it, or maybe there's a big contrast, that at that point I'll probably use a stronger opacity. So something like 40 or 50%, half, maybe even more, depends on what you're going for. And there we go. Now I'm going to make the lines. The lines that are on the acorn, I don't know what it's from. Just growing on a tree, I guess. But sometimes they have these darker lines. So I'm going to put these in. And I'm doing almost the same thing that I do with the shading. I just pick a dark color, and I'm going to line it up and just start putting them on there randomly. And no two acorns are going to look the same, so I'll just put them in different spots. Something that looks good to me. Now that I got my lines in, I'm going to go in and rasterize those lines, and then erase any overlap. So anywhere, like the windowsill here, I'll just go and erase it off. That's all I got for now. You'll see I'll put more out on this project as I get it done. So keep an eye out on my YouTube or social media, and if there's anything else that I can help out with, post a comment and I'll see if I can do it. But anyways, I hope this helps someone out there. All right, thanks. Have a good one.